Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the Rookie Racing Championship. We're here for round 4 here at Canada this evening. Round 4 of the championship. Almost a full grid tonight. I think we've got about 15 drivers or so. So it should be a good one. Just wait for the guys to load in. Oh no, we're going now, we're good. I thought for a second getting a bit worried, thinking the server had lagged for a second and he was going to chuck us all out the lobby, but nope, we're all good. Everyone's in and loaded in. So yeah, 15 drivers tonight. So it should be a good one. Interesting to see how everyone gets on. See DJ Guitar leading the pits already, a couple of them heading out onto the track. As they all leave the pit lane on their way, setting off on their out laps so far. If you could just give some thumbs up in the chat, guys, just to make sure you can hear me nice and clearly. It seems to be alright at my end, but it would just be very well appreciated. Don't know what the cameraman was doing there, looking at a wall for a second with his camera. Just trying to get their tyres warmed up, ready for the start of this session. DJ Guitar almost runs into the back of one of the Williams cars there. Not sure who that was. Oh, the AlphaTauri, sorry, and I think there's been contact there. And Please Trey has got a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with Crispy. Well, so Pleased in the AlphaTauri has already got a grid penalty, 5-place grid penalty. We'll see how that affects the end of the session, because I think we could end him at the back of the grid, because Pleased normally is normally in the midfield, shall we say, there or thereabouts, sometimes sneaking into the top 10 in qualifying. So that has completely changed the concept of the midfield grid. I was right on board with DJ. First lap out for him in the Ferrari. Down the back straight into the hairpin. Hard on the brakes. Just about gets the car turned in. Just missed the apex slightly there. You just saw the Williams in the background. That made the thing. And MAF in the Mercedes, one of the reserves for tonight's race, has retired from the qualifying session very early on. That's very strange indeed. Across the line everyone comes. DJ doesn't get a lap in, clearly invalidated. Cohen goes fastest in the Haas. Fastest. I'm losing my words there. With a 109.8 to open the timesheets. Crispy Chicken in that very familiar Alfa Romeo now. Slots in behind him with a 110.8. And splitting the two of them is Mercedes in the Red Bull with a 110.3. So lap time starting to come in. Fabio's gone 4th fastest with a 110.9 so far. Bossy with a 111.8. Raphael in the other Red Bull with a 113. built Barbarossa, I can't say that, in the Williams with a 1:15.9, and Justin in the other Haas has just made the Haas's P1 and 2 so far with a 1:10.2, and Cohen's just gone even faster, 1:09.4 he's done now, instead of a 1:09.8 before, so an improvement of 4 tenths there, which is quite good. It will be tight with qualifying round here. Ben Ratcliffe in the AlphaTauri, just about emerging out the pit lane, slowly but surely. See DJ in the Ferrari, and in fact Ben's actually gone back into the pit lane. There's a couple of them going back in after completing their first set of runs. Have a look at Flash Todd, another reserve for tonight in the Ferrari. He's just setting himself up to begin his lap. DRS Open, we'll follow him to see how he gets on and where he ends up. Comes out of turn 2, down towards 3 and 4. Little tight chicane this. Got to get the right entry and the right exit. And maybe the right entry, not quite the right exit. There for Flash, didn't go quite as wide as what I would have expected. With a second chicane onto the back straight. DRS Open. Oh, and clips the wall on the way down. Well, it looked like it. I don't know if that was a bit of lag from the game or not, but it looked like he didn't quite turn enough there. Down the back straight into the hairpin. Kisses the apex pretty tidily. Potentially got a little bit closer, but if you touch that curve on the inside of the hairpin there, it can spin you round if you get on the power a little bit too early. It comes at the last corner onto the main straight. Where is this going to put Flash? It puts in P10 for now, 1:16.5. Not the quickest by any means. And speaking of quickest, well, I'm very surprised to see Pleased in the AlphaTauri up there in second place. He's got a 5-place grid penalty, like, so he might be overdriving that car a little bit, you could say, but good effort from him so far. 1:09.8 splits the two Hasses, and then speaking of which, Lewis in the Racing Point splits them even more with a 1:09.865. So only, that's tight actually. 6 milliseconds separating Pleased and Lewis. Jesus, that is very tight indeed. Cohen and Justin, I've just seen her on out laps, so they'll be beginning to try. Well, Justin will definitely want to try and put the Hasses P1 and 2. That's why he's going back out. Cohen clearly thinks he can improve. You see Lewis coming down the back straight. Another flying lap. Looks like he's doing a back-to-back flyer, or was, and then dives for the pit lane. So clearly wasn't an improvement as such. Meanwhile, Justin around T1 and 2. There's yellows in T1 and 2 for some reason. I can see being waved. Green's after. Not sure what that's all about. If somebody's had a spin at some point. As there's a Ferrari parked up there, that might explain the yellows. Although that is further up the road, like, so not 100% sure where that's come from. As we see Justin continuing on, trying to see if he can improve on his current lap time. And it looks like he's backed out of it to me. He's warming up his tyres. He was on a lap. I think he's probably going to have to go again. Traffic holding him up. There's a Ferrari he's got to watch about up there as well. In fact, the Ferrari dives to the pit lane, so no harm done. Across the line, start another lap. The Satiety in the meanwhile has jumped Justin and done a 109.8. That's really tight between P2 to 4. P2, 3 and 4 there. Milliseconds and hundredths of a second separating each of them. Thousandths of a second, should I say. Really tight between them guys. Lewis is on another flyer. Justin's there. It looks like Crispy behind him, because Felix has retired from the session in the other Alpha. Both on flyers. You'd think Crispy would get a bit of a slipstream here on Justin. Comes down the back straight, and Justin goes back P2. Good lap from him, 109.7. So pleased his lap time by about a tenth or so. Good effort from Justin. Haas is P1 and 2 so far. We're not seeing the performances from the Alphas though. Crispy Chicken's down in P8 at the minute, and Felix is out of the qualifying session, so could be interesting. We're just under 7 minutes to go. If you're liking what you see, guys, make sure you subscribe to the Rookie Racing YouTube channel. Massively appreciated. And Pleased has gone even faster, believe it or not. They're 109.5, splitting the two Hasses again. Justin's going to be getting frustrated very shortly, but Pleased will be happy with that. In fact, Pleased will be very pleased with that. Little pun there for everyone watching. And it's not far off Cohen's time, actually, looking at it. It's 200ths of a second off Cohen's time. It's ridiculously tight as that. Two thousandths of a second, should I say, my bad. So, Pleased enters the pits. Cohen's in the pit lane. Lewis looks like he's on a lap in the racing point. Comes down the back straight, turning in. Through the hairpin, kisses the apex very tidily. He's just gone P3 with a 109.7. Can he improve on that? Or is he going to dive for the pit lane? He's dived for the pit lane, so clearly no improvement. Barbosa has gone P6 and dived for the pit lane. Fabio, who's the teammate of Barbosa, is on an out lap. Crispy's going slowly, assuming he's out of fuel probably. Bossy's about to come across the line, hops Crispy into P8, or 110.6. So that pushes Crispy down to P9, who goes for the pits. Raphael is diving for the pit lane. DJ's just entered the pits. And Todd looks like he's on a lap to me, the pace that he's going. Todd has improved on the... He did do a 116 initially, so he's up to a 114. He's quite a new driver as far as I'm aware, so probably just getting used to the track a little bit, feeling out. Try not to take too many risks in these cars. Todd's dived for the pit lane. Ben in the other AlphaTauri's on a lap, finally. Hopefully it's not invalidated like his last few have been. Around the final chicane. Nice and tidy. Doesn't kiss the wall of champions. Cross line he comes. Up to P10, so splits Crispy and Raphael in half. With a 1:11.7. Very tidy from him. Cohen, I believe, just got onto another lap, so we'll join him, see how he gets on. He's got Lewis in the racing point just ahead of him, potentially holding him up. We'll wait and see. I think they're both on a lap actually, so that might just play in. In fact, Lewis gets out the way, very sensible. Not quite sure what's going to happen there. Looks tidy though so far from Cohen. He's going to go even faster than what he's already set. Into the hairpin. Nice and tidy. Onto the back straight. DRS was open, but he slowed up all of a sudden. And it's clearly not a very good lap from him because he is pulled to the side of the road. Got back going again. Clearly just letting them guys get through and out the way. I guess we'll probably be going for another run. He is going through the chicane. Not many people seem to be getting near the wall of champions so far. A lot of people, nobody's really touched it yet, so people clearly trying to stay well clear of it. See Cohen come down the back straight, through the chicane, into the second chicane after coming out the S's. Onto the back straight, DRS open. Nice and tidy from Cohen so far. He comes down towards the hairpin. Hard on the brakes, turns the car in. Don't quite get it to the apex as maybe what he would have wanted to. Still looks like a tidy lap from him so far. As he comes down the back straight, braking hard. Into the chicane. Now is it going to be an improvement on the time he's already set? He's got 30 seconds left of the session. Lewis Oliver, and it isn't an improvement, and meanwhile Lewis Oliver in the racing point goes P1. Now I'm guessing by the time he's got left, Lewis has set himself up for a back-to-back flyer here. In fact, he's warming his tyres down. I think that might be it for him. Seems like he's going a bit slow for me. Okay, maybe not. He's got the DRS open. Let's see if he can improve then. But Justin still hasn't improved. Flash Todd having another go. Kind of looks like he's spun off at some point. Justin's on another flyer. We'll stick with Lewis to see if he's going to improve this time round. Comes down, dives for the pit lane, so clearly no improvement. Have a look at Justin though, because Justin is the threat here at the minute. It's all them front runners. Set himself up nicely to go again and try and get one more lap in. The Sayati and Raphael, you can just see the two Red Bulls there. Heading out of the hairpin, they potentially could get in the way. And Justin's backed out of it quite significantly, so I think that's probably over. However, Versati's out the last corner. Is it going to be an improvement? Nope. They stay where they are. Cohen and Justin aren't improving. So there you have it, guys. That is the grid. Everyone else has crossed the line or pitted. So Lewis Oliver, the debutant in the Racing Point, has got pole position. She's very interesting indeed. Cohen behind him in second, pleased for Justin fourth, Versati fifth, Fabio in sixth, Babrosa in seventh, Bossy 8th, Crispy 9th, Ben 10th, Raphael 11th, DJ Guitar 12th, and Flash Todd in P13. Math and Felix, surprisingly the two front runners you would have thought retired early in the session, so that's them over, but Pleased won't be starting P2 due to his 5-place grid penalty, so stay tuned, guys, and we'll look forward to the race. Also, just noticed Crispy Chicken's got a 5-place grid penalty. I didn't see that one come up on my screen. My bad. So that means he'll be starting down the order as well. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be ready shortly. So we are back, guys. The guys are just leading off on the formation lap, so should be an interesting race, this one. Cohen and Justin quite high up the order in the Hasses. Lewis in the Racing Point is the unknown soul, so we're not sure what to expect from him this race, but based on what we saw in qualifying, he's quick. He's very quick. And he's got himself P1 to deserve it. Cohen follows behind him, followed by Justin in the other Haas. Versati in the Red Bulls behind, then Fabio and Babrosa in the two Williams. Bossy in the Renault. Pleased and Ben in the two Alpha Tauris. Pleased, remember, did qualify P2 but had a 5-place grid penalty to add on. Raphael's 10th. DJ Guitar starting 11th. Flash Todd, due to grid penalties from quite a few people around him, moves himself up to P12. Crispy starts P13. Felix starts P14 after retiring from the session. Math starts P15, and Charlie in the McLaren, late arrival to the party, will start P16. Predicted strategy, it looks like it's going to be a 2-stop race. It's either going to be softs, mediums, or soft, mediums. So, it'll be interesting to see. I think most people will probably opt for the soft, mediums due to the fact we're in Canada, it's relatively cold, the track temperature isn't that high, and the tyre wear isn't going to be as aggressive with the colder temperature. So, it'll be interesting to see how this goes. As we see everybody lined up, getting ready to go. As we go to 5 red lights, engines roaring, lights out, away we go. Good start from Cohen, little bit of wheel spin, and Lewis has bogged down off the line. Cohen takes the lead even before they get into T1. And is Lewis going to lose out? I don't think so. There's a bit of a contact in the background. I think that's Crispy Chicken that has gone round. It has, and there's more carnage at the back. DJ Guitar's been spun round at the start. And Lewis Oliver, if I can even find him, the game's glitching a little bit, has lost positions at the start. So Cohen leads the way, followed by Lewis, followed by Justin, followed by Vassetti, followed by Fabroso, who's made up a couple of places off the line due to everyone else falling behind him. Same for Bossy. Charlie in the Renault, he's losing a bit of positions now, but he's gone from P16 to P8. He's made up 8 positions in the space of 5 corners, and we've got a safety car out. I'm not sure what that is for. It looks like Raphael's been in the barriers, and I think that's why it's been brought out. Oh yeah, you can see at the front, heavy front wing damage. Still got a bit left, but there's going to be debris all over the racetrack, and there's a lot of people diving for the pit lane, taking advantage. Bear in mind, with it being a 2-stop race, you could easily go on to mediums now, which I think most people will be doing, and then doing another stop onto hards. Oh, this is not good. The double stacking at Ferrari. It's not gone well for Flash. Flash is in the box at the minute. Guitar is losing a hell of a lot of time sat behind him. Is there anybody else double stacking behind? By the looks of it, no. Well, that is going to cost DJ Guitar a hell of a lot of time. Real shame for him. So we'll catch up to the safety car queue. As MAF has DNF'd out the race, I'm not sure what's happened there. I think he's had a crash on the back straight by the looks of things. Oh yes, you can just see the Mercedes there, parked up at the side of the road. That might be another reason why the safety car was brought out. But MAF in the Mercedes, after 1 lap, is already out of this Grand Prix. So, not the best start in the world. It is quite a tight track, is Canada, to get right. So, if you do make a mistake, you can easily hit someone. Cohen leads the way. Lewis just got a little bit unfortunate at the start in the racing point just behind him, just bogged down a little bit. Cohen got the better start and managed to pull away quite quickly. So anyway guys, while the safety car's out, we'll just take a little quick break and we will be back shortly. Hello? Hello? Apologies about that guys, I was just checking the mic to make sure it was all working. And I believe the safety car is going to be coming in at the end of this lap. The grid is backing up. It's on Cohen when he decides to go. I think he's just gone now. He has. He's gone quite early, to be fair to him. He probably could have left it a bit later than that. A little bit of contact there between him and Lewis, though. And there's a crash at the back. There's a Williams round. I believe it's Babrosa, I think, who has spun it. He's dropped all the way down to P15. Are they all going to get through turn 1 cleanly this time? Just about, by the looks of things, apart from Babrosa spinning it. And Versailles has just jumped into P2. Lewis Oliver's losing positions left, right and centre. Felix is up into P4. So the usual sight of that Alpha at the front is back. They come racing down the back straight. Felix may look for a move here on Lewis Oliver to see if he can get up into the podium places. Here he comes, actually, has a look, thinks better of it. BJ Guitar's just got a penalty for multiple warnings, quite a few of them. The corner cutting regulations round Canada tend to be a little bit strict on the F1 game. Felix is all over the back of Lewis Oliver now. Looks like he's going to make a move around the outside. Great move that. Got it done on the little right-hander before the first corner. Bossy Gaming now on a 3-second time penalty. Cohen leads the way from Versailles just behind. Felix is not far behind these guys. There's a yellow in sector 1. I think DJ Guitar just spun there by the looks of things. Dropped down the position. Green flags are out and it's cleared. And Charlie's still having a good race in that McLaren. All the way up to P6 now from 16th on the grid. Made up 10 positions. Good racing from him. He's just made his way past Fabio. He's got Justin up the road for his next target. And it looks like Felix is having to go for P2 here. No DRS. Don't get it until a couple of laps time. And he gets the job done. Great racing from Felix, coming from the back of the grid. He's just on the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. In fact, I correct myself because Charlie's now just done the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. 1:13.3. Seems to be going well so far. Another yellow in sector 1. Right, looks like DJ Guitar again because he just dropped another position, but we're going to stick with this battle for the lead. Cohen and Felix going toe to toe. Felix going to have a look into the hairpin, has a peep but thinks better of it. Cohen misses the apex though completely there. Felix getting all wobbly out of the corner. Down the back straight, DRS is now activated. He's going to try and go around the outside before the corner, and he's got it done. Great move by Felix. And meanwhile in the background, Versailles and Lewis are having a bit of a scrap. And Justin's trying to get involved in the action as well. Great driving from everybody, really putting on the show tonight. Yellows in sector 1 again, and what's happened there? What's happened to Justin? It looks like to me Justin has spun it. He's dropped really far down the order, and there's a crash at the back. Raphael has spun it coming out of the last corner. I'm assuming in that place he's kissed the wall of champions and it's spun him round. So yellow there, and he looks like Lewis Oliver's had a moment. He has, he's got wing damage. He's dropped down to P7. It's all happening around. So that inherits Charlie 4th place. He's almost bump drafting Society coming down the back straight and easily slots into the podium places. It's been a really good drive so far from Charlie in that McLaren. And Cohen is into the pit lane from 2nd place, so that's going to drop him down the order. And just see Felix there in the Alpha just coming through. So Charlie's now up into P2. Society inherits P3 with all them pit stops. Remembering probably these guys are going to have to stop at some point, so it'll be interesting to see if Charlie can stretch his legs a little bit here and make a bit of a gap, as we think there's been another accident. There was a couple of guys round. I think they've got back going now, so I'm going to skip down the order actually, because Justin has come out of the pit lane behind Lewis. These two were scrapping at the front earlier. I'm assuming they're going to have a little scrap here again. Come down, Justin with DRS. Is he going to slip through? Has a look to the inside, goes for a big send, little bit of contact. Just about avoid taking each other out. Mercedes now in the pit lane, so he's dropping down the order bit by bit. Justin down the back straight. DRS again. Is he going to have a look to try and get it done before the chicane? He is, and he's got it done. Great move. Come in there. Mercedes still dropping down the order, and I think he's going to lose a lot more. The annoying thing is the safety car has really bunched people up, so you couldn't really get a gap together before you made your pit stop. Bit of a shame for Mercedes, but I'm sure he'll recover. Because Cohen and Ben Ratcliffe are having a scrap. Ben Ratcliffe pitted under safety car for the mediums, and so did Cohen as well. Them two will have one more stop to go in this race. Going down the back straight. Looks like Flash and Justin and Versailles are swapping positions. They're 3 wide into the hairpin. Still 3 wide, just about. Cohen sneaks past Flash. And is Cohen... Justin, sorry, I should say. Is he going to sneak past Versailles now? Well, he didn't have DRS that time, which is a shame. Flash has just got a penalty for multiple warnings. 3 seconds. Like I say, the corner cutting is a bit strict around here. Understandable, like, but it's not ideal. Meanwhile, Charlie's in the pits. Crispy goes through to P2. So the familiar sight of an Alfa Romeo 1-2 at the front occurs again. Oh my goodness, that was almost a collision in the pit lane. Charlie actually glitched through. Through one of the Ferraris there, who I think, I'm assuming is a lap down. I think it's DJ. Yeah, it is. So almost glitched through there. Could have ended in tears if it didn't happen. Versailles moves up to P9 over Lewis. Not really many battles out on track at the minute, really. There's a bit of a scrap here over P9. Mercedes leading the way, followed by Lewis, followed by Justin. And we just saw a couple of moments ago Justin having that three wide scrap with Flash and Versailles. It could have easily ended in tears, should I add. Luckily it didn't, and they're all still in this race. Just under halfway gone. Justin has DRS, Lewis has DRS from Versailles in front, and Justin still sneaks past him somehow. I don't think he would have been able to manage that, but he did. Good move from him. They've all moved up one position due to Ben Ratcliffe being in the pit lane. Yellow in sector 1, that's now disappeared. Justin's now on the time penalty for multiple warnings. The corner cutting is quite strict round here. Mercedes now got one. There's a lot of corner cutting going about. Meanwhile, up top, Felix has a 9-second gap to Crispy. And Cohen has got a 15-second gap to Crispy in front, followed by Charlie not far behind, so it'll be interesting come the end of the race whether Charlie's going to get on the podium. He's just done the fastest lap of the Grand Prix of 1:12.007, so like I say, excuse me, it looks like it's going to be quite an interesting end to the race if we're talking about the final podium position, because you think Charlie here is going to have DRS but gets it all wrong coming out the S's. There's a bit of DRS to help him catch up again, but not a huge amount. Comes down the back straight into the final corner, into the hairpin, sorry. Looks like he just about gets the better run than Cohen does. We'll get DRS again to have another go. Still might be just a little bit too far back. In the case that he is too far back. Yellow in sector 3, I'm not sure who that is at the minute. Charlie comes down the back straight. Still chasing hard after Cohen. You can tell how hard they're pushing by the amount of grass they're clipping on each side. And DJ Guitar has just been disqualified from the Grand Prix for excessive amount of penalties. Wow. So DJ Guitar's out the Grand Prix due to a disqualification. Well, these boys need to be careful, make sure they're not picking up too many penalties. Justin's just got another one for multiple warnings, and so is Ben Ratcliffe. So meanwhile, Felix is in the pit lane, just about exiting it. Drops down the order, concedes first place to Crispy. And Charlie has just got past Cohen for P3 and just done another fastest lap of the Grand Prix of 1:11.9. So come the end of the race, it'll be interesting to see if Cohen can respond. At the minute, the signs look very unlikely. Meanwhile, Justin is chasing down Versailles. Got a yellow in sector 2 and 3 again. Just come down. Mercedes looking quick in that Red Bull today, must say. Been quite consistent, not really making any mistakes and allowing Justin to close that gap significantly. I mean, Justin is closing it inch by inch, but it's not like Mercedes making a mistake in one corner and it's shutting down quite excessively, so gap remains quite wide. Justin down the back straight. Through the chicane. Across the line he goes. And the gap still quite wide. Mercedes looks like he was extending the gap a little bit at one point, but it looks like Justin is shutting it down again, and now it's extending again, so the gap isn't really doing a lot, but this is the closest battle on track so far. But at this moment in time, we're just about getting to the halfway point in the race. Crispy Chicken has entered the pit lane. And I think Pleased has just had a bit of a moment and let Bossy get through to P6. So you can see the Mercedes, Justin and Lewis train not far behind that either. So Justin will have DRS, opens the flap up. Heading down this back straight, looks like he might try and get as close as he can, if close enough, make a move, not quite. Pleased has just entered the pit lane, so he loses 2 or 3 positions, maybe even more if his teammate Ben Ratcliffe gets round quite quickly. Fabio is now on another 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. The guys are struggling with track limits tonight. As Justin is now closing that gap, almost rubbing the bumper of the Satiety. DRS open. Can't quite get the move done. You can see Lewis in the racing point just on this onboard, not far behind these guys either. As Justin looks like he's going to make a move, thinks better of it, has another little dive as Mercedes leaves the door open. Couldn't quite take the invitation. Justin will have DRS again. It's turning into a cracking little battle, is this? Hard on the brakes through the chicane. Justin will have DRS again. And he's still just a little bit too far back to make a move. Justin's driving as hard as he can. But he's making mistakes in the process, and has just made a mistake there, so it leaves himself vulnerable for Lewis. Lewis is going to go around the outside. What a move! What a move from Lewis Oliver, round the outside there, just before the chicane. That was excellent stuff. So Justin drops down to P9. Shame for him. Meanwhile, Crispy Chicken at the front is having a battle with Cohen. Little battle developing here. We're on lap 19 out of 35 in this Grand Prix. As Crispy is trying to close the gap and see if he can get both Alphas on the podium. I mean, Felix is running away with it at the front. There's a 20-second gap between Felix and Cohen, and a 12-second gap between Felix and Charlie, so Felix is running away with this race a little bit. So interesting to see what happens next. Crispy gets DRS coming down the back straight. To Williams closing up on this battle as well. Chicane might have just kissed the wall of champions there. Trying to go that aggressively to shut the gap as much as he can. Which is the right idea in the situation. If you want to be in the podium, you've got to fight for it. So come through the S's. Nice and tidy. Crispy Chicken. Now keeps it together. Look like he's going to have a little bit of a moment there. Does drop a little bit of time because of that. Meanwhile, Mercedes has lost out to Lewis at some point and is trying to get his P7 back, which is easier said than done because Lewis seems to be showing quite decent pace so far. Ferrari's just about getting out the way. Versailles, you could almost say, sends it into the pit lane, into the pit stop. Medium's going on. Out he comes in P8 once again. Bossy also in the Renault also pitted at the same time, so he's just come out the pit lane, not too far behind. Meanwhile, Fabio is chasing down Crispy. Crispy has finally disposed of Cohen, but Cohen has lost positions in the process. Not sure how that one's happened. We'll soon find out later at the end of this race, you would think. Fabio around the outside, just keeping it nice and tidy. Going back. I'm not sure what his teammate Barbosa's trying to do there. Barbosa, I'm saying it wrong. Thanks guys, that's my fault. Oh, and Barbosa's just crashed in the background. Just saw him whack the wall there, he's got back going. Well, that was a big impact, was that? You would think he would have some form of damage. It looks like he's still going, so we'll soon find out if he pits or not. And there he is. It does look like he's got a bit of front wing damage. Maybe not a significant amount of box. Meanwhile, team orders might be getting involved here, because Pleased in the back AlphaTauri and Ben in the front AlphaTauri are having a scrap over the final point podium. Final point that is available. P1 to 10 score points, so looks like these guys are going to have a scrap over it. Have to wait and see if team orders get involved and whether Pleased is allowed to go through or Ben stays where he is. Seems like they're on, looking at their last couple of lap times, it seems like they're on similar pace at the minute, so team might just let them fight it out, to be brutally honest. Should be nice to see, and it looks like that is exactly what is happening. the moment. As they are approaching traffic, I think that's Raphael in front in the Red Bull. Yes, it is Raphael, I've just checked. So he's ghosting to try and let cars through. I believe that's Felix behind these guys as well. It is indeed. The race leader is going to come and lap them now. So everyone in that group is now ghosted apart from Felix. Felix has done a really good drive today as well. Really, really well done. Making it nice and easy, not making too many mistakes. As he disposes of the lapped cars, so we can continue to enjoy this Ben Ratcliffe pleased battle. That Red Bull still won't get out of the way, doesn't want to let the sister team through. Come through, that was a very good exit from Please coming out that chicane. Seems like he's got the better pace in the first couple of sectors. Onto the back straight. It looks like he's going to try and send one around the outside, thinks better of it. Ben just about covers him off. Down the back straight again. Hard on the brakes. They'll just about get the car turned in there. This Red Bull of Raphael will just not get out of the way of this battle. He doesn't want the sister team to lap them, clearly. Which is understandable, like, but is it necessary? I'm not entirely convinced. Meanwhile, Versailles is chasing after Bossy, excuse me. In the other Red Bull, while his teammate Raphael is dicking about with the Alpha Tauris. Versailles coming down into the hairpin. Nice tidy apex. Charlie's on another 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. The penalties are stacking up, that's for sure. Versailles comes down the back, looking to make a move, and does. Makes a move through the chicane, so Bossy concedes the position. And Versailles moves up to P7. Clearly Bossy thinking that Versailles is the quicker driver and trying to minimise his time loss, which is fair enough. Meanwhile, back at the front, Crispy still making his way up the order. And chasing down Charlie at the front by the looks of things so far. Charlie is trying to make hard work of it, making sure Crispy does not get past This will affect the championship, you would think. Due to the point situation, Felix would still be leading the championship with this win. Come across the line to start lap 28. It has been quite a long race, in fairness. It's quite a short track though, so well, it's quite understandable why the race is this long. He's pleased, he's still chasing down Ben in the 2 AlphaTauris, still having a scrap. Then coming down the back straight, pleased, just out of DRS range this time. And he's actually just left the session, so it'll be his AI racing for him now. That's a shame. Potentially a connection issue, I would think. And Raphael is now disqualified from the session for too many penalties. So the stewards are going to be busy tonight with the amount of track limit penalties and disqualifications. It's not the best track for track limits, is Canada. The stewards do tend to be quite strict around here due to the fact that it is quite a short track throughout as it is. So have to wait and see how they get on. Go on board with Pleased, who is slowly but surely closing the gap to his teammate. Definitely the quicker driver on track. I've just been informed that he is back in the game now. And is he gonna have a move? Think better of it this time. Well, he is back in the game now after just a quick disconnection. He's still looking to try and get past. Turning into a nice little battle, this. Hopefully Ben Ratcliffe doesn't lose out, because Ben's had a decent race, to be fair to him. It'd be a shame for an accident to happen. As they come across the line into lap 31, sorry, should I say. And Pleased to still chasing down, 4 laps to go in this race. And it's all starting to look a bit wide open now. Pleased continues this battle, trying as hard as he can to get past, to say the least. And look round the outside, thinks better of it again. Just to come down the back straight, they've got blue flags from, I believe that's Felix. It is indeed blue flags from Felix in front. Hopefully they'll get out the way of him. Or are they just going to continue to race hard? Felix locks up, they're ghosting a little bit. Felix goes through though. He's still racing now. That's the onboard camera of the rear of his car. As you can see, nobody rear the behind. Felix has got away from the two AlphaTauris of Pleased and Ben now on his quest for victory. Going on to lap 33 of this race now, and to be fair to him, he started at the back of the grid and he's not put a foot wrong. Same for this man as well, Charlie. Really good race for him. He goes on to lap 33, and they've both had really good races, like coming from the back of the grid all the way up to P1 and 2. Great effort from them guys. Fully deserved winners, you could easily say. I don't want to do the commentator's curse or anything, but it seems like it's done and dusted to me now, this race. Crispy with another 3-second time penalty. These penalties are just stacking up tonight. A little bit of a lock up there from Felix. Like I say, these penalties are really stacking up now. Just proves how strict the stewards are around here with regards to track limits, which is understandable. Like, it's a street circuit and you don't really want to have every single car doing a track extension every 2 corners or something like that, so hence why the stewards are being strict tonight, but is what it is. Felix hasn't got a penalty at all, still racing hard. Charlie has got some, so I'm not sure how that will affect come the end of the race. Felix on his penultimate lap now, coming down towards the hairpin. He's still racing very hard. Like he's about to come and lap Justin as his next car up the road. It is Justin. Hopefully he'll get out the way in one piece. Going through the chicane. Oh, and he's crashed! Oh, that's a big accident! Felix has had an absolute monumental crash. Is he still going? Just about, but he's got very heavy wing damage. I didn't expect that in the first couple of laps. He's got very heavy wing damage and he's going quite slowly. Now, where is Charlie in this scenario? He's just coming around turn 2 now. If Felix struggles to get home, I was just about to say he's not put a foot wrong. He put a foot wrong there, and it's potentially costing some time. Charlie will close the gap pretty quickly. It's already down to 6 seconds. Felix will try and hold it as much as he can, like, but all gone downhill. It's under 5 seconds now. The gap is closing. It's going to be a tense finish. A little bit of a lock up there from Felix. Under 4 seconds now, the gap. You just saw the McLaren in the back. I think he's going to be too far. I think he is just a bit too far back. Is Charlie to be able to try and take the race win? Lock up again from Felix. Has to skip the chicane. But apart from that, he's not put a foot wrong all race. Cross the line. Felix takes the win at the Canadian Grand Prix. Charlie comes home in second place. Really good drive from them two boys, coming from the back of the grid to do that. Crispy is going to get third for the Alphas. It's 1-3 for the Alphas today, not the 1-2 that we saw a few weeks ago. So Crispy comes home in third. Cohen in the Haas comes home fourth. Fabio comes home in fifth. Lewis on his debut in the Racing Point, really good drive from him, comes home P6. Qualified on pole, just got unlucky with a couple of things during that race. Mercedes comes home 7th. Bossy out the last corner, almost kissing the wall of champions. Comes home to take P8. Justin coming round the last corner, across the line to take P9. And oh, there's a little bit of a battle between the AlphaTauris. Oh my goodness, there's a huge accident. Please gets flipped on the wall of champions, has to reset. So Ben comes home for 10th place. That was a dramatic end to that race. I've never seen a Formula 1 car do that on the wall of champions. But Please comes home for 11th place. Dramatic finish to that race. But Felix and Charlie deserves driver of the day in my opinion. Great drive. You could argue the same for Felix, to be honest. But that was the race. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Really appreciated you joining us today. And we'll see you next time.